To create our retrieve all method, the first thing that we want to do inside of our method is define an empty array that will end up storing all of our nodes in it. So we will say variable all nodes equals an empty array. We now want to loop through every bucket in our hash table, so we will do this with a for loop. We will say for variable I equals 0, while I is less than this.numBuckets. We want to increase I by 1 on each iteration, so I++. This loop will take us through every bucket in our hash table. Now, inside of each bucket, there could be a chain of nodes, right? So we want to travel down through that chain of nodes if it exists there. We will do this with a while loop. So we will write out our while loop. And where do we want our while loop to start? Well, we want it to start at the first node in the bucket. So up here, we will define a variable called current node, and we will set it equal to this.buckets at index I, which is the first node at the given bucket in our hash table. We are going to want our while loop to run as long as there is a current node, and inside of our while loop, we want to set current node equal to current node.next. This whole section right here will take us down through every node in the chain if there's a chain present in this bucket. Now all we want to do inside of our while loop is push each node into our all nodes array. So we will say all nodes dot push and pass in the current node. And finally, down below our for loop, we will simply return our all nodes array. And that is it. Our retrieve all method is done. It will take us through every bucket in our hash table, pushing every node in each bucket into an array. Then we simply return that array, which will contain all of the nodes or pieces of data in our hash table. Let's see if it works. Down here, below all of this data that we already inserted, we will insert a few more pieces of data. We will say myHT.insert, and we will pass in Joe with his email address of joey@facebook.com. And we will say myHT.insert, and we will pass in Samantha with her email address of sammy@twitter.com. We will come down here and we will test our new method by saying myHT.retrieveAll and invoking it. We'll wrap it in a console log and let's run it to see what we get. We get Sam, Megan, Dean, Dane, and Joe logged out, which is all of the data that we have inserted into our hash table. Great. Our retrieve all method works just as it should. That is it for the functionality that we want to have on our hash table. We've come a long way. In the next video, we will wrap up this section on hash tables and discuss their performance and some practical use cases of them. See you in the next video.